This video is brought to you by MPEC Printery, specializing in t-shirt printing, posters, and shipping from the USA. Call 876-775-6692 or 876-337-7374. Andy Gone Nuts, 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is also brought to you by BLC Jamaica Security Electronics, specializing in alarm system, video surveillance, camera system or CCTV, barrier system, gate automation, and access control. Call 876-320-7711. That's 876-320-7711 or 876-351-1105. That's 876-351-1105. Hello everyone, I'm Simon Preston and welcome back to Reggae Boyz Commentary. This is the channel where we come together to discuss everything Jamaican football related. So, here we go, shall we? Let's kick things off. And I know it's a point that you guys will want to see, and I know you guys see part 2 on this video in particular. And part 1 is located in the description. So you can always reference to part 1 for this video, which was done roughly 9 months ago, thereabouts. So I'm going to leave a poll in the comments and I want you guys to answer it. And basically the simple question is, who should captain the Reggae Boyz moving forward? And I'm going to list some candidates. And I'm going to explain the reason for the candidates after. So Andre Blake is one. Daniel Johnson is another. Damian Lowe is another. Adrian Mariappa is another. So I want you guys to go ahead and vote in the comments. Go ahead and vote in the comments for these points in particular. All right. Really, really appreciate it. In my opinion, firm candidates. So let's get right into the matter. I know a lot of people, because I did a video quite recently in relation to the captains. This was 2 weeks ago, I believe. 2 or 3 weeks ago, I did a video about the documentary, The Captains. Now, let me make this clear. This project in particular was something extremely critical. Everything that you saw in that documentary series, none of it was planned. It was natural. So let's start with Andre Blake. And it's rubbing again on the points that I made in my reaction to the Captain series, but I'm going to reiterate it again because it's still a talking point and it's still something that we have to discuss. All right? So I'm going to reiterate the question and the point one more time in relation to Andre Blake. So are you guys ready? Well, this is the matter. This is what we're going to discuss right now. All right? And it's simply like this. You saw Andre Blake from his childhood growing up. And I can tell you, not a lot of people know this, that he was an extremely talented cricketer, an extremely talented basketball player as well. I remember very much when he was part of the match day squad for the Reggae Boyz against Costa Rica in 2010, the game where Ryan Johnson scored for the Jamaicans. He had a PSP around his neck and he didn't play the game, but he was part of the squad. Yeah? Went to UConn, did brilliantly. Number 1 in MLS draft. Eventually becoming captain of the Reggae Boyz after Rudolph Austin's stint with the national team. So you saw a lot of facets to the series, a lot of facets. You saw the reaction to team meetings with the video analyst. You saw reactions in relation to Ravel Morrison, and you saw actions and comments that were made in relation to UK, local based, what is needed to qualify for the World Cup. A lot of opinions expressed, a lot of thoughts expressed, what it would mean for him to get to a World Cup, amongst many, many, many other matters. We saw that, didn't we? And it was something that captivated the audience, didn't it? It was something that stood with a lot of people. So let's talk about, firstly, the points about Ravel Morrison. I said this before. I don't like to repeat myself, but I'm going to have to say it again. I'm going to have to say it again. All right? So here we go. Here's the point that I'm making where this matter is concerned. All right? So when you have an 11, you need creativity. And you need that one person that can just change a game in an instant. And that person for us is Ravel Morrison. Now, for me, it doesn't matter how long he hangs on to the ball. It could be 10 seconds, it could be 20 seconds, it could be 30 seconds, because that is our creative outlet to look for that final ball to the center forward or go in for glory. Now, that particular clip that was shown against Panama, yes, in that particular occasion, I will agree. In that occasion, he should have made the pass towards an Antonio. However, you saw the conversation around the table that Blake had with Javan East and company. And look, it's okay. It's completely fine for them to have an opinion. I have mine as well. And I believe that Ravel Morrison is an asset to the national team and should be a member of our team for the Gold Cup and the next campaign as well. Let's not forget, this is a person that has endured injuries as well throughout his career. He hasn't had 200 appearances under his name. So some people might be saying, well, but he's 29 and da-da-da, da-da-da. His legs are still fresh. You know, he might not give you 90 minutes every game, but he'll give you a 75. He'll give you a good 60. And I don't think you can complain with that. If I get 65 minutes from Alvas Powell, if you give me 65 minutes from Alvas Powell, I can't complain with that. Honestly. You can't fathom or complain about that matter in particular. And let's not forget, because I went to school about this as well, objectivity. We have to be objective. What we saw was selected pieces. Selected pieces of the campaign. Not every single piece. So there were recorded portions of Blake that we will never see until perhaps Blake talks about it in a book one day, or the company that made it decides to disclose it. But for right now, that in particular is hidden. As a captain, I can understand why persons say what they said in terms of uniting the UK-based and the local-based players together. I understand that. I really, really do. For me, Andre Blake stays in the leadership group. let me take your comments before I move on to other members. And for those that have just joined in, I implore you to vote in the comments as well. Vote in the comments. Mark Catering Company says Leon Bailey. Interesting. Wicked Man Chris says Tappa. Number one guy says why pre? Why pre? Why pre? Why pre? Why pre? Why pre? Why pass? Alvas. You know, actually, on his birth certificate, his name is Elvis. Yo, where Alvas named the mascot. That's Patrick Riley says Johnson. Go ahead and vote in the comments. Mark Catering Company Blake should be the captain. Interesting. Number one guy says Maps, the only decent option for me. And also another compelling one as well, bearing in mind he might not be somebody that plays every single game for Jamaica moving forward. For me, Blake should keep it because I don't see Mariappa after the Gold Cup. Interesting point. Number one guy says captains was something. Indeed, it was. Remember Blakey from Sporting Central Day. Clarendon College, Sporting Central Academy. Number one guy says, we have too much coaches in the dressing room, like O'Hall said. I remember that scene where Bobby Reed was making the point in Panama, and Paul was saying, you see everybody in the yellow shirt? That's coaching staff. And the camera panned to different people. Number one guy says, Bailey, I would give in the next couple of years. He has been leading from the front in recent times. I'll address that point quite soon. Boy, this JPL game is boring. God knows it. Wicked Man Chris. Roger Grant says Daniel Johnson, PAMI. Not even want 5 minutes from Alvas, honestly. Roger Grant says, I think we should move on from Alvas and those players. We should go for Dichet Spence, Dejon Sterling, Max Aarons, and those players. I'm not disagreeing with you there. They never used the Canada match footage, amongst other games as well. Loud Music Entertainment, I don't think they went to Canada. Alvas Paul last game didn't even give us 5 good minutes, rather play maps and facts. Simon, what happened in captains can change a lot of UK players' mind from playing for us. I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. That's my honest opinion about the matter. I personally don't think it's going to make that difference. I don't see it. Honestly. My personal thoughts on the matter is this. I believe that this in particular, those that might watch it, they might be intrigued, but I don't think it would be a turnoff because the experience that an Andre Blake, Kevin Stewart, a Greg Lee, Anthony Grimes might have, that doesn't necessarily mean that it will be the same experiences of Cuba Mitchell, Cameron Eubank, Kieran Aggard, and company, Anthony Stewart. Different cycle, different sets of players. So it's not fair to say that it'll be the same sort of experiences. Absolutely far from the truth there. Roger says, I hope some man no vex when people call them son UK rejects. I think that's an absolutely distasteful term. Absolutely distasteful. Distasteful. Why would somebody make such a statement? That is absolutely sad. In fact, whoever said that, that's a crime. You guys know how extremely difficult it is for somebody to ply their trade for England, right? And just because they don't make the England team, they're rejects. They're rejects just because they don't rub shoulders with Harry Kane. They're rejects just because they don't rub shoulders with Raheem Sterling. You know, honestly, that's just extremely distasteful. So, I don't know why persons would say that. Really sad. USA rejects. Xenophobia. You think me a little boy? What a prominent line. Let's see what you guys are saying in terms of the votes. Please keep on voting as well. Your thoughts about who should be the captain of the Reggae Boyz. Keep those votes coming in. Keep those votes moving forward. So far, DJ Rasta is leading the race, but we'll see what happens. Hit that like button, guys. IS Ab says, question as some who isn't Jamaican. Why is there a divide between the Jamaican-born players and UK-born? The Senegal-born players, the French-born players don't. They're captains-born, French-born. Yeah. And this is where Professor Simon needs to come out. All right. So here's the situation now. All right. So there is that perception, that feeling that basically a fear of somebody taking their spot in the team. I don't know why there's a view like Simon trying to thief a food of a local bass player. Simon trying to stifle local football. Far from the truth. I've even given and highlighted players apply their trade locally right here. It might not be plenty of them, but I have a handful of them. A handful of them. And to answer your question, IS Abs, it's extremely disgusting when you're bearing in mind Comoros qualified for the Africa Cup of Nations, and their entire squad was French-born. Not a single player born in Comoros. Did the people of Comoros care? No. No, they didn't. They celebrated and rejoiced just like their very own. One of Germany's best goal scorers in World Cup history, well, the best goal scorer in World Cup history, is from Poland, but he's worshipped as a German. Lukas Podolski, German, but born in Poland. Camoranesi, born in Argentina, represented who? Italy. You think they care? No. This mindset needs to stop. It needs to stop now. Right now. We cannot persist with this anymore. This has to stop. You mentioned Senegal. And we can mention other teams as well. We can mention many, many other teams. This is where it has to end. Are you referring to the Cameroon game on Wednesday? Well, it's slated for 12 noon Jamaica time. That's when it's slated for 12 noon Jamaica time. Simon, 80% of the black players in France and Belgium right now sorting out papers to go to Africa. Senegal, Ivory Coast, Ghana, Togo. And literally we can go on and on. Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia, amongst other countries, Central African Republic. You think me a little boy E? You think me a little boy E? Don't touch me. There's a divide, maybe it is because we love maths. That's funny. Hilarious. Hilarious point that you're making there. You're right. Unbelievable. I would argue that it is as bad. It is as bad. And it's extremely sad. Why? But guys, this is the past. All of this is in the past. This was a previous head coach, two previous head coaches. This is an absolutely clean slate. Clean slate. So don't get this view that this is going to impact players in the UK for representing Jamaica, because it's a new coach, it's a new way forward. And I'm telling you right now, there are strides, there is progress to be made. So I don't think that you have to be anxious about the future, because things are happening. Things are happening. Great things as well. Trust me. Culture and mindset. We have small island syndrome. English had it as well. That's why UK born players didn't really play in mainland Europe until in more recent times. I would bet you can, that's true about Comoros. Yeah, it is true. Just we have a culture of tribalism. Koulibaly was born in France. Yeah. Where can I watch the Cameroon game? I will let you know in terms of links and stuff closer to game time. Nitrofax. Who can we see the game? Well, we can fly to Cameroon. We need more UK players to represent us. Too much MLS players. You genuinely think that there's too much MLS players in the squad? Honestly, I don't think that there's a lot of MLS players in the national team. If you want to talk about this game against Cameroon, I can understand where you're coming from, but I wouldn't say there's too much. That's a stretch. For me, that's a stretch. It really is. When the match are played on Africa? Wednesday? Wednesday, 12 noon Jamaica time. That's what I said. 12 noon on Wednesday. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. Of Leon switched to go play for Algeria. Yeah. Zidane Iqbal. Zidane Iqbal wasn't born in Iraq, was he? No. Zidane Iqbal was born where? England, Manchester to be specific. And you see who he's representing? Iraq. Iraqi mom, Pakistani father. Representing Iraq. So there you go. I genuinely thought that there would be something in him for Pakistan, but nope. And another one, Hannibal Mejbri. Hannibal Mejbri was born in France, and the man is going to go to the World Cup with Tunisia. He's going to go to the World Cup. On loan right now, Birmingham City. 19, going to be 20 in January. You'll see. You'll see. And as we know, who else is there at Birmingham City? Joe Bellingham, 17 years old, Jude Bellingham. Job, the younger brother of Jude, Job. So there you go. Playing games and could very well make the necessary progress moving forward. Jude Bellingham now, he's going to be 20 next year. So Jude Bellingham going into the World Cup will have a Euros and a World Cup under his belt as a teenager. Good night, Simon. What's the situation between Toulouse and Flemings? I'm getting to that. But before that, go ahead and vote in the comments. Go ahead and vote in the comments. Vote in the comments and let us know, and let me know in particular, your thoughts. Who should be the captain of the Reggae Boyz moving forward? That's something that I would like you guys to be aware of. Go ahead and vote in the comments and let me know, who do you think should be the captain of the Reggae Boyz moving forward. So the situation is quite this in terms of Junior Flemings and how he is doing. So with Toulouse, as we know, they are a team that are in Ligue 1, got promoted quite recently. And the manager of the club, Philippe Montagnier, joined the club as head coach in 2021. To make a long story short, there are some elements of training that Junior Flemings has to work on. There is potential that he could be sent out on loan in January. That's a possibility. It is a 3-year deal. And it's basically a situation where it's either you're going to pick up yourself, go on loan, or you go somewhere for cheap. A decision will have to be made there. Watch some ball down at the motherland. I hope the ball of them don't make the mosquito them bite them, dengue fever thing, and people that'll laugh after. Is that so? Boy, I tell you. Big up, Fluffy, ready? Hope you're doing good. You guys know to vote in the comments as well to give your feelings and thoughts to be made known. Rudolph Austin will come on for Portmore United in the 66th minute. Yep, Rudy Austin. He's going to be 40 in 3 years' time. So I'm going to stop pod to tell him 137 because he's 37. Loud music. We need more players from across Europe and not just England. It depends. It depends on the player and what exactly is the deficiency in the squad. We can't just say, oh, we're going to go for a player in England. What's the deficiency in the squad? Okay, we need an understudy to Blake. Kanaya is doing great things, and you heard what Andy Carroll had to say about him, and also what Liam Moore said. So if you guys haven't already, go and listen to the interview that was done with Liam Moore, and let me know your thoughts about the matter. And of course, the part 1 to this video as well, who should be the Reggae Boyz captain moving forward, that should tell you everything that you need to know right there. So proceed. Okay, because I know some of these games, it is around the wall of Jericho journey to watch a game. How did the make of this film come by these locker room footage, Simon? Well, the thing is that they got footage. They have access. And they got access from CONCACAF and from FIFA to access, these sorts of places. The team hotel, the training sessions, flights with the team, and locker room footage. Warren Webster. Map's too old for the future, in my opinion. Is Blake fully committed? Damien Lowe shows up when called. The question is, who will unify our team and be respected by all? Now, that's a very salient point, Warren, and thank you very much for tuning in as well. It's a big point, and let's touch on the parameters of what you just said. I don't think Mariappa's age determines him getting the captaincy, but if you're talking about him playing in terms of a long-term role for Jamaica, I can understand that point. If you ask Maps, he will tell you that he can play to Gold Cup 2025. Them time that he's 38 going on 39. If you ask Maps, that's what he'll tell you. He's not giving up playing football. He's not. Second point. The second point to this is quite simply this. If he remains one of our best players, defenders, he's part of our pool for me. And I'm not saying that he should start for Jamaica, but he makes up a 23, 26-man squad for me. He still has that agility where he can jump high. And if we're leading 1-0, it's the 85th minute. I know when team is whipping in crosses into the box that Maps will be able to make it clear. We know that there were some mistakes recently in the games, specifically against Morocco, but Maps still remains an asset to the national team. And for me, he's a part of the Reggae Boyz squad. Gold Cup 2023, for sure. Beyond, let's see. Saw the report today confirming Amari Hutchinson was called. However, Chelsea told him not to go. He should be playing for them on Wednesday. Yeah, no, I think I made this point quite recently that the manager, Graham Potter, has spoken extremely highly of Amari Hutchinson and what he has been doing. Now, yes, I expect him to travel to Manchester on Wednesday for the League Cup against Man City. I expect this to be something that he does. And he's also expected to travel to the Northeast as well for the game against Newcastle United. And of course, that will be the last game prior to the break before the World Cup. Hot sun match, yeah, good. I hear you. Hannibal from Man United was class in the FIFA Arab Cup last year. Is that Jenna? Football no play Pakistan. Me did have to try play for Iraq and cricket then play Pakistan. Wicked man Chris, stop. Okay? Just stop, because Pakistan has a football team, Sri Lanka has a football team, Bangladesh has a football team. Every country in the world has a football team. Even Saba, St. Eustatius, has a football team. All right? So don't say that. And there's even a Pakistani player at Manchester United that graduated from Manchester United's academy. All right? So just bear that in mind. Just bear that in mind, all right? Do your research and bear that in mind. If you want, I can even tell you his name. His name is Adnan Ahmed. Adnan Ahmed. Adnan Ahmed was born in Burnley to Pakistani parents, came through Manchester United's academy, graduated from Manchester United's academy, went to Huddersfield, and had a decent career as a professional. Played for Pakistan, scored goals in AFC Challenger Cup, played League One, played League Two. so don't say that. Jude looking for that Liverpool contract. No, I don't think Jude Bellingham will be going to Liverpool. I don't think so, honestly. But now vote until Alva's name is added to the pool. Ha ha ha. Where is Leon Bailey now? You think Leon Bailey is a candidate for captain? For me, Leon Bailey is part of the leadership group. He's part of the leadership group. 100%. Part of the leadership group. Toulouse now use him. He needs a loan to League Two club. No want him back this side of the planet. Honestly, I wouldn't mind if he goes to Bulgaria, Estonia, Lithuania. I think McGee should move from UPenn. Well, this is the last year of his contract, so if he doesn't move in January, that means that he'll be a free agent come the summer. So it'll be compelling to see what happens after the World Cup. Personally, I would advise him to look for a loan in January, and of course, he'll be a free agent in the summer instead of just sitting down in the under-23s. So that's how I feel about the matter. You're thinking the same thing as well. What's the deal on Austin coming soon? Rudolph Austin. Good point. Them must give Boyce Clark the number one position. I think Kanaya's chance will come. His opportunity will come. Absolutely. Give it a season, and I believe that it will come. For sure. Once again, guys, go in the comments and vote who should captain the Reggae Boyz moving forward. Andre Blake, Daniel Johnson, Damian Lowe, or Adrian Joseph Mariappa. Let your voices be heard. We need everything right now, all positions. Okay, all positions. Goalkeeping pool. You add Kanaya Boyce Clark to the mix. Cool. Defense. You add a Levi Caldwell to the mix, yeah? Anthony Stewart. Cool. You go to the midfield, you add a Cuba Mitchell, a Cameron Eubank to the mix. Yeah? Cool breeze. Marvin Johnson. Cool. You go up top, you add Ivan Toney. How do you feel with those 5 additions? How does that make you feel? Roger, I'll tell you, bro, he needs a move to a smaller team in Belgium where he can have guaranteed game time. It doesn't have to be Belgium for me. It doesn't have to be Belgium. It could be France. It could be Switzerland. It could be Germany. It could be Spain. It could be Portugal. It could be Italy. It could be Greece. Eddie Laguna says Blake for Capo. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. Interesting. I want him to come back at Jamaica or go to the USA. Who is that? If he was a Barca player, he would have given up on football already. Lewis Baker for captain. Lewis Baker first needs to be, get that Jamaican passport. Blake must not be a part of the team going forward, in my opinion. Really? I have to disagree with you there. Because Andre Blake is our number one. And for me, remains our number one heading into the Gold Cup. Now, after the Gold Cup, things could change, but he remains our number one at this point in time. And heading into the 2026 cycle, he remains a strong candidate to be that number one. Captaincy, though, that's another conversation altogether. A different matter altogether. It really is. Just think about it for a moment. Yeah? Andre Blake. Daniel Johnson. Daniel Johnson has experience captaining Aston Villa at the youth level, Preston Northern as well. A leader on and off the field. People talk so glowingly about him in Lancashire. People talk so highly about him for Jamaica as well. We saw the performances against Saudi Arabia. So he performs on the pitch, the Gold Cup as well, and also off the pitch as well. An important player, an important factor, an individual that you can't ignore. Trust me. Somebody that cannot be avoided. Remember the name, Daniel Johnson. He's my pick for captaincy. Adrian Mariappa, Daniel Johnson, Andre Blake, Damian Lowe, Leon Bailey, Mikel Antonio. That 6 are part of my leadership group. Oh, by the way, Jovan East won the Saprissa and Costa Rican League. Yes, he won the Costa Rican League. And you know what that means? CONCACAF Champions League football on the horizon. Simon, it's Galchester, not Manchester. Is that so? Marshall buona noite, senhor Simon. Boa noite. Como estás? Muito obrigado. Muito obrigado, meu amigo. There's been a Pakistani played for Fulham. Yeah, Zesh Rahman. I know. Good player too. Very, very good player. Simon, if that is the premise of your argument, why is there no mention of Antonio? Well, Antonio is in my mix as well. Antonio is a candidate for me. Antonio remains a candidate for me. I'm not saying he's number one on my list, but Mikel Antonio is part of my list as well. Mikel Antonio is part of my list. He's not the number one, but Mikel Antonio is a strong, strong, strong candidate for me in terms of captaincy and part of the six, for sure. Je parle français, anglais, l'espagnol et beaucoup plus. Mais maintenant, je suis très fatigué. Mais à l'avenir, je voudrais améliorer mon français. If he's part of the leadership group, wouldn't it make sense to have him on the poll? It would, if there was space. Because you can only have a certain number of characters in a poll. You can only exceed a certain number of characters in a poll. You can't exceed a certain number of characters. Bobby Reid must captain the team. Dr. Joyful, Bobby has to exhibit the performances that we saw at the Gold Cup again. And I don't think since the Gold Cup we've seen the same from Bobby. Look, Dexter Daps is a good youth. I rate him, respect him, lots of admiration. But honestly, personally, not captaincy. Not captaincy. Same. Is Max Aaron still holding on for England? Yes, that is correct. Patrick Riley says we need Bernard, and I guess you're referring to Dishon Bernard. Now, Dimitri Mitchell is a left back, Dishon Bernard, centre half, Ethan Laird, right back. Look at that right there. Oh, and there's another exciting what is the deal to come? Yeah, you guys are going to like the next one, that's for sure. Agreed. If he goes to Eastern European club, I personally wouldn't mind, but I want him to stay in France where he can hone his craft at a higher level. But the thing is that Toulouse might not want him. So what is the point in being in an environment where you know that you're not wanted? Okay, you go to a League Two club on loan, right? And then they send you back to Toulouse, and then Toulouse goes and send you out to Russia. If you get my point, I get what you're saying in terms of high level experience and so on. So from that angle, yes, he'd be getting 10 to 15 games at League Two and stuff like that. But I just want him to be in a top flight league. Valid point though. Ravel, Chippy, Moore, or Maps, if he would be playing, should be captain. Ravel, captain. Okay. Not a bad option. Not a bad outside of the box. Now, the only reason why I don't have Liam Moore in this is because, in my opinion, I don't think that I think injury is the reason why he's not in this mix. If he was more consistent in playing for Jamaica, then I would have him for captaincy. Leadership group, captaincy, two separate things. Is he part of my leadership group? Yes. Captain, no. That's a different conversation altogether. Owen Latibodir, the new Swansea captain, one for the future. Yeah, Joel Latibodir. Good player, isn't he? We all saw him at the Under-17 World Cup, didn't we? The Under-17 World Cup, winning for England in India. The team with Angel Gomez, Jadon Sancho. Mark Gehi was part of that squad as well. Phil Foden was part of that team. So, it was a good team. Rudolph Austin with a stinger of a free kick saved by the very United goalkeeper. How many of the 5 you named have passports? Kanaya Boyce Clark has one. Levi Caldwell, the experts say this guy has no weakness as a defender. He's just 19. Levi Caldwell has no weakness to his game. He's going to be 20 next year, and it would surprise me if Chelsea don't call him back from his loan for next season. I mean, he has a loan until the end of the season, but it would surprise me if Chelsea sends him on loan again. It really, really would. Personally, Levi is in an environment in the Premier League. We saw how well he did in the Championship at Huddersfield Town, and now I feel like it's time. The Premier League, he's ready for that next chapter. 6 foot 2, 19. By the time he's 21, who knows? Could be 6'3", 6'4", and growing. Leon would be the best cap for Jamaica, Simon, in my opinion. He don't have any attitude like all the other players. He's part of the leadership group for me. He's part of the leadership group for sure. What's the situation with Hector? Well, he's training with Dagenham and Redbridge. I did a video that you can check it out. There is a situation where Darren Moore has been in dialogue with his father, Pat Hector, and Pat Hector is to get back to Darren Moore if Michael Hector can join the club in the new year. Properties for sale in J. Simon, dare I say, all Jamaica needs is a class midfield. We have decent midfielders, but I mean one that gels. In fact, if we had that, we would likely be heading to Qatar. I mean, there's many factors why we're not going to Qatar. That I'll say. Talent was there, but talent just thrown out there doesn't get the job done. It's all about preparation, synergy, chemistry, cohesion. The midfield is one aspect, but I wouldn't put it down as the reason why Jamaica is not going to Qatar. If we had a class midfield, my concern would be who's putting the ball in the back of the net. I mean, yeah, you have Antonio who scored 3 goals for Jamaica in the qualifiers. But where are the other goals coming from? Because we played 14 games, you know? Bro, just shave the head clean. I did it, and the girls came running even more. Nah, I'm good. No, Ivan Tony to the Reggae Boys. He made his bed, he sleeps in it. Who's number 2? In what aspect? Number 2 in terms of my captaincy list? Damien Lowe. Ivan Tony, I thought that ship have sailed to England shores. Well, guess what? He's not been capped by England. So until the day he represents England in a competitive game, he remains eligible to represent Jamaica. So that's why we shouldn't forget about him, in my opinion. I don't think we should forget about him at all. Some feel like Blake is the be all and end all of Jamaican football. For me, he would not even be in the squad. So who would be your goalkeeper then? Who would be your goalkeeper? I don't mind El Rojo Caminando in the team, but not as captain. Blake let us down, says Brown Bear. Mm, so yeah. Up to though, leadership group, absolutely. Absolutely. Other point about McGee, Simon, but Belgium League, he can develop and coaches have time for younger players, while in Germany, France, or Greece don't want results. No. McGee soon turned 23, 24, 25. And at that stage, for me, it's all about go, 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 go. That's that stage for me. Is Max almost 50? No, he's 36. We need the right keeper, not the best keeper. And in your eyes, who is the right keeper for Jamaica? Question: how nobody done talk about the 2 players down there in Brazil? I just remembered about them. Shantamoy is recovering from a knee situation. Probably doing good in the EPL. He is so far. Robbie scored that wonder strike out there in the Gold Cup when I see him again. Well, in national colours, we haven't seen the same, you could say, magnitude of displays. But that doesn't mean he's finished as a player. Not at all. And I do think that there's more that he can achieve as a football player and more that we can see from him. So I'm not going to rule it out. What about Liam Moore? He needs to get back in the team first. He needs to get back in the team. If he can get back in the team, be part of the 11s, then yeah, he'll be a candidate in terms of captaincy, for sure. But I know the experience that he's carried from Reading as a leader and the youth team at Leicester City as well as a leader. Owen times 2 true maps dedication, but he should be looking to get his coaching badges. Yeah. Yeah. Correct. What's the deal just makes me angry at this point. What percentage of the what is the deal actual play end up getting capped? Have you ever checked that out, Simon? Well, here's the thing, Jason Gona. 11 people take the field and 23 take the squad. So in the grand scheme of things, you're going to have a deep pool. There are many players out there that gets the opportunity to get a Jamaican passport. And guess what? Many of them don't even get to take the field for Jamaica. Leon Barnett has a Jamaican passport, but he's never taken the field for Jamaica. James Vaughan is another player as well. Remember, it's only 11 that take the field and 10 outfield players. And if you're an attacker, you're one of only 3 that gets that opportunity to do so. And in a squad, 8 or 9 of them. But it's my responsibility to alert on the eligibility, the interest, the desire, and the latest in the process, and the facts. And that is extremely important. The next step is quite simple, a call-up for a player of their caliber. Ravel will drape up the man in the dressing room if I'm the captain. That'll be fun. Jason, hope the new coach will watch some of Simon's scouting knowledge. Pretty obvious that Blake would be captain, no? He's a leader for Philly. I'll probably take over the captaincy once Bedoya retires. Possibly, but I do think that it's time for Andre Blake to go across the Atlantic. I think it's time for him that he makes that sort of move. Coach, people smash the like button, respect the live, do the right thing, all in the chat. Enough respect, Warren. Much appreciated. Hit that like button. All right, guys. And after you hit that like button, you know exactly the next thing that you need to do, right? Quite simple. Vote in the comments. Who should be captain of the Reggae Boyz? Vote in the comments. Who should be the captain of the Reggae Boyz moving forward? All right. Cool. Has things cooled with them, all right? Well, his documents haven't been submitted. So if they haven't been submitted, then there's nothing that we can do on that process. Simon, let it go, bro. Let what go? Relax. If the strikers were getting better services, they would have probably scored more. Michael Gordon says Ivan will never get an England cap and he shall stay in his pickle. And once he never gets a cap for England in a competitive game, he remains eligible to represent Jamaica. Did you guys know that Raheem Sterling was still eligible to represent Jamaica until the day he took the field for England at the World Cup against Italy in 2014? Yeah. What did Blake do? Well, MVM ICAC, with Andre Blake, a lot of fans are disappointed with the way how the World Cup qualifying campaign went and his thoughts about overseas players and local players combined and basically the dressing room situations. A lot of people have differing views on the matter. My view on this is quite simple. As a leader, you're not going to be liked by everyone. You really aren't. He is currently the captain of the Reggae Boyz, and for me, he should be part of our leadership group. Personally, I want Daniel Johnson to captain the team. That's my thoughts because of the longer experience that he's had as a leader, dating back to his days in the academy, 1. And 2, I prefer having a captain that is an outfield player. Because I know as a midfielder, he can shout to the attackers or he can turn around and speak to the defense. As a goalkeeper, it's a bit more challenging. You can talk to your centre halves or your defense and maybe one of your midfielders, but your attackers, it's much difficult. So, honestly, for me, a centre half or a central midfielder, that's where I would like to have my captains. Jamaica needs to get people on board earlier. It doesn't help when there's no foundation because you're not bringing in guys when the last round of qualifying begins. I've made this point clear against the United States over in Austria when you're giving debuts to players. That's the year of World Cup qualifying and playing 7 players for the first time in the campaign against Panama at home. Extremely, extremely sad. Actually, it says there's only one finished player in the Prem right now, and it is not Bobby. You're right, it's not Bobby. I don't think Philly's that foolish to see whether I injured next time it wasn't him. Yeah. Come on, guys, smash the like button. Smash the like button, guys. Let's go. And also vote in the comments. Jason Kunit, his map's been worse than Bobby with Jamaica lately, but his credit's so built up for his dedication of the years that will make excuses for him now. I think he did okay in the Argentina game. The Morocco game wasn't good, but I think in the Argentina game, Maps did well. Bobby Reid gives 100% when he plays for Jamaica, though he was also out of form for Fulham during that period. From what you've seen, and it is early days, but is there a better environment emerging under Hallgrimsson? Do you feel he'll be a better recruiter than Tapo? To answer your second question, yes. The first question, is there a better environment? Put it this way, Hallgrimsson is the type of manager that says, listen, the past is the past and we're moving forward. And that in itself gives a fresh page of what is to come, a completely fresh page. So, from that perspective, that is good. And that is an exciting period of time. And it is good things moving forward. Am I right? So, from that perspective, it's good news. Really, really good news. Oh no, Bobby not finished as a player, but from him score that goal in the Gold Cup, it was like them work some form of voodoo upon him well, score week in, week out in the EPL. Any new players we should look to see in the near future? Check out the latest exclusive interviews and what is the deals. Back to Europe and leaving the Reggae Boyz until a more positive attitude returns. So who should be the goalkeeper for the Reggae Boyz then? We don't want tonic or toxic, Simon. Honestly, our mind is made up. Him need to look to St. Vincent, we side full ball, feel lock on him. St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I wonder how Ivan Tony felt when Ethan Pinnock told him about what went down, snippets of which we saw on the Netflix show. I doubt they even have conversations about it because Joe Marr and Rush interviewed Ethan Pinnock from this or that of Sports TV, and Ethan Pinnock was just like, yo, listen, Ivan Tony has to make his own decision if he wants to play for Jamaica. And just shrugging his shoulders like they don't talk about Jamaica. And the reality is, guys, we need to accept not a lot of these people actually sit down and talk about Jamaica just because they have Jamaican heritage. Marvin Johnson and Jaden Brown didn't sit down together and talk about Jamaica together. Or Darren Moore and Jaden Brown and Marvin Johnson didn't sit down together at lunchtime, the three of them talking together about football and Jamaica. They don't. They don't. It doesn't happen. Oh, I saw the video of Blake talking about Ravel not passing and such, but I think Ravel is justified because when he has the ball, things happen. Spot on, spot on, spot on, spot on. At least the JFF cannot say that we're not apprised of the players. Simon did his part. Now the ball is in the JFF's court. Shame on them if they don't capitalize on the info. Thank you very much. Andre tried to unite the players based on what I saw in the documentary. There is only so much Andre could do. Can't force grown men to do what they don't want to do. Good point as well, BM. Keep smashing the like button. Smash the like button, guys, and vote in the comments. Keep on voting. Blake can remain as kid on the block. Blake had better stay in the MLS. Europe is the dump heap for Jamaican ballers, no matter how good they are, plus his salary is great. No. It's time. He's already earned good money, one of the highest paid players in the league already. If he wants to go to that next level, well, it's all about Europe. That's the place to be. I hope Joy Desart makes a full return from his injury. He could be an asset to Jamaica. He could be, could be. How soon would you like to see Whisper being included in the senior team? The CONCACAF Nations League game against Mexico. Jamaica should rotate the captaincy like other teams do whenever everybody is average or there are a plethora of candidates. Enough players being identified here are shown their native stripes. Honestly, I wouldn't want to have a ring around a rosy with the captaincy. I'd rather have a settled captain. No, I would love the idea of having like a vice captain and a second vice and a third vice and a fourth vice. Yeah, that's cool with me though. Good Simon was commended for the effort and exposure. Much respect for the work he has done over the last few weeks in the field. I appreciate that. Thank you. Simon, your expedition in England, do you see our new coach senior prospects? I thank you for highlighting Jamaicans abroad in general. I see you as future GFF visionary. Thank you very much, Michael Gordon, for your kind words. I greatly appreciate it. Well, what I can say is that there is he does watch the videos. Marin Gordon shares the videos with him, so I know for sure at some point that whoever has the ability and are committed will certainly be involved for certain. And as far as Cameron Eubank is concerned, I provided an update this week that there was a conversation between Marin Gordon and Cameron Eubank is currently working on that Jamaican passport, and Cuba Mitchell is doing the same thing as well. But Cameron Eubank is just a step forward in the process where that is concerned. Algerton team is building a good database. Players need to get their passports and commit. Anything on the under 20 goalkeeper? Well, Kanaya, what about him? I remember back in the day when Ericsson was the England coach, Chelsea Mandem did sit down with Chelsea Mandem, Man United ball would only start with my new table and the same with Liverpool. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that well. The year with Beckham, Scholes, Gary Neville, Lampard, Gerrard, Ashley Cole. Yeah, and Jermaine Genius at Newcastle United. Where did Jermaine Genius? Jermaine's like, where do I sit? Does it with the United lads, Chelsea lads, the Arsenal lads, the Liverpool lads? And he had to break that. Yeah, I remember. Vincent Alvarado says of the 93s, Moore, Pinnock, Ravel, Lowe, Roof, Reed. You also have Daniel Moore, Pinnock, Ravel, Lowe, Roof, Reed. Do you expect all of them to stick around for 2026? Or have some of them already played their last game for the Reggae Boyz? Moore, yes. Pinnock, no. Low, yes. Roof, no. Reed, possibly. So I heard Roll Sweet mention that the coaching staff is looking at over 200 players. Cool. Name 5 schoolboys that deserve a call for under 20s and under 23s. Please don't force players on the senior team when there are players before them that are proven internationally. Most of the players highlighted were second-rate players. The good players are still waiting on England. Which question is that? Oh, I was saying yes in relation to Moore, no to Pinnock, no to Maroof, maybe to Dexter Daps. So that's where it stands for me. Okay. Smash that like button, guys. Let's go. And at this point, let's see what you guys are saying in the poll. And in the poll, would you look at that? Look at the poll and what it says. Interesting, isn't it? 32% of you said Andre Blake, 28% said Daniel Johnson, 20% said Damien Lowe, and 18% of you said on Adrian Mariappa. So The majority edges that Andre Blake should remain as captain of the Reggae Boyz. Yes, I was saying no to Pinnock and Roof for another cycle. I personally don't think that they'll be around for another cycle. That's my opinion on the matter. I said yes to Liam Moore and also maybe to Dexter Daps as well for the next World Cup qualifying cycle, you know. And I know Warren Webster is going to talk about Pinnock being one of the best defensive options that we have. Yeah. And you're right. Personally, I just don't see him being around long term. I would like him to be part of the squad, but I just don't see him being around. Jason Gooden says, hopefully we convince Pinnock he's our best defender. But Thomas Frank he's a tough cookie. He's somebody that would say and tell Ethan, listen, Ethan, we're trying to qualify for the Europa League. Don't go to international duty. Warren Webster. Yeah, oh boy, Warren Webster. Warren Webster. Yeah. Hey, Warren Webster. So you see, it's close. It's close. Richard King, good player that too. Is that due to your interaction with Pinnock and Roof, or just more of a hunch? More of a hunch feeling. More of a hunch feeling with those players in particular. But guys, I don't know if you have already, but there's 10 interviews that have been posted, and I hope you guys have watched them. Darren Moore, Ricardo Bibi Gardner, Ricardo Fuller, Darren Webb, Cuba Mitchell, Cameron Eubank, Kieran Naggard, Liam Moore, Romeo Griffiths. You guys have seen those so far. Anthony Stewart, that's 10. Still a few more to be posted. Have you watched them all? I certainly hope you have. Vincent Alvarado says, Simon, do you think that there's a risk that the JFF think since USA, Canada, Mexico won't be qualified, they can go about business as usual and still go to 2026? No, personally, I feel that the JFF will understand that this is an opportunity that we can't afford to miss at all, and will ensure that all eggs are in this basket to ensure that World Cup is secured, qualification is secured for 2026. King of England, LG. Simon, when we are going to get the grant interview? Years now, me not even hear about roof is like the roof did fly off the house top. Raise the roof for Kemar Roof, but you know, he might be leaving Rangers soon. Outside of King, who are the two defenders in Jamaica that can step up to the senior team? I watched them all. Calming. Ming for me. Don't make me block road and draw a black card and saying we want justice. No, we need that grant interview, bro. Go on then. Coach should try his best to keep it up. Moore isn't very good. What? Moore's a big defender. Just to try to get Harding and the younger players. Wow. Have anyone observed how much improved Andre Blake's passing of the ball was in the Argentina match? Because he's aware Dylan is the real sweeper keeper. Penny Cook, good player. Warren could be good for the Reggae Boyz. He's fast and can hop, skip, and jump out of tackles. Well, Warren Ware is already a representative for Jamaica's Rugby Sevens team, and he picked up a bronze medal for Jamaica at the CAC Games in Barranquilla, Colombia. And in addition to that as well, he copped a gold medal for Jamaica at the Rugby America's North Sevens Championship, which took place in Barbados in 2018. So He's an athlete that not only an Olympic gold bronze medalist, but an individual has also won medals for Jamaica in rugby sevens as well. I'm looking forward to the Battle of the Caribbean for 2026 between Jamaica, Haiti, Curacao, and Suriname. Too bad Trinidad, though, they just keep falling behind. Those four countries that you made mention of, Jamaica, Haiti, Curacao, Suriname, and Panama, Costa Rica, Honduras, El Salvador. Yeah, I think that could make up the eight octagonal if it is that sort of format for the qualifying round. Harding got a raw deal for Jamaica. Not sure what happened with him. Well, basically, from the Panama results, that's been that. King had one great game and he was played alongside Pinnock. We went and got a graduated university player over him. Didn't make any sense to you. Ming and Pennycook. I would go with Ming, so that's why I only named Ming, but Pennycook is decent. I would have to say that for sure. Pennycook is a decent player. Come on, guys, hit that like button. Let's go. Hit that like button, guys. Let's go. Yes, 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 yes. Indeed. It was. And that was the matter. That highlighted things to a great extent. So, and as you realize, we haven't seen Wes Harding play for Jamaica since that particular game. Nitro says TNT are coming. A number of their young players are in academies in England. And I know that Barbados is coming as well. Alright, guys, if you haven't already, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to the channel. This is a free way of contributing to the channel. Alright, guys. Dylan need a club where him can get game time. Yeah, he does, big time. Wonder if we will get any friendlies meanwhile the World Cup is going on. We should be getting another friendly quite soon. I should have more updates about it tomorrow. The stats from the panel game suggest that this is absolutely stupid to blame him. Vince Alford, is Clark Harris still in the mix, or was it a one and done thing? Yeah, he's still in the mix. What happened to Mason Holgate and Ben Godfrey? Well, Mason Holgate and Ben Godfrey at this point in time is an England international, so that's the situation with him. So, yeah. Big up KS Sports TV. Hope you're doing good. 33 likes to reach 100. Hit that like button, guys. Let's go. The game was madness. 6 attacking players in a 4-4-2 system, not one defensive midfielder. Was it 4-4-2? I don't think it was 4-4-2. Has Cantwell been approached? No. Michael Gordon to Simon. What do you think about integrating the JFF license and GC Foster curriculum to make that license more credible and equal to the European A license? I think that's a great idea. And I think this is an opportunity to get more persons involved into that qualification system as well. So I'm on the same page there. I'm just hoping that FIFA will intervene quite soon to ensure that that can happen. So, yeah, that's how I feel about the matter. You really think that Ming is better than Pennycook, Simon? I just said I preferred Ming. I didn't say that he was better than Pennycook. The question is asked which two centre halves would have impressed me so far, and Ming is one that has impressed me. Pennycook has looked good. I just like the style of Ming. That's me. As somebody that plays central defense, that's me personally because I'm a central defender and the style that Ming brings. Hope Turgot gets some love soon. Dude's winning titles in Sweden. Yep, and Champions League football is coming his way quite soon as well. Would love to see another converted push to get to Mason Holgate. that would be great. Even though Winston Clark feels that it's a wasted time, energy, and effort, I still think it's something that should be worth pursuing. I like both of them as wells. Okay. I'm sorry for Jamaica if the likes of Trinidad and Barbados really get their act together. We're already struggling to beat Curacao. Well, yeah, the last time we played Curacao was that Gold Cup 2019, right? Where that game drew 1-1. Yeah, but that was under a new coach. That was under a coach that doesn't like to look at video analysis, that doesn't like statistics, and doesn't like to read dossiers. Do you think of earning a scouting license or an agent license? You pursue one. I did my scouting at the Scottish Football Association in Glasgow at Hampden Park. Holgate could also play CDM. Yeah. Vincent, him need a move to a top 5 league. Yeah, pretty much. Warren Webb's a good show, Simon. Have to wrap up our work. Blessings, people. Smash the like button. Aren't you all not entertained? Big up, Warren. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll be in touch. Thank you so much for always being there. I see you there on Talawa TV often. Thank you very much for being here as well. You're a legend. Big up yourself. Enough respect. Trinidad drew the Bahamas not too long ago. I think we don't need to worry about them for a while. Still, I have to shape up because my brethren just become a scout for Barbados FA, and they're looking at League One players right now. So they're strengthening. They're looking in League One players for Barbados talent right now. Hopefully the coach approached some of them who would not play the under topper. Either of the two positions, though I would prefer him at central defense. Okay. All right. I see what you're saying there. I understand. I fully get it. So it is what it is, you know what I mean? So but yeah, something to process, something to really put into perspective in the grand scheme of things. So I get it. Can't believe a coach at international level don't take video analysis seriously. I know of Manning Cup coaches who study video. Absolutely. Hell, look at Grenada. If Baptiste realizes he's not going to play for England, they could immediately get one of the better midfielders in Congo. Sheldon Baptiste, you talking? He's already played for Grenada. Right now, I'm worried about Guyana. Them don't need visa to go to the UK. So these guys are going to be an influx of Guyanese talents. Well, if the talent is up to that standard, then yeah, it could happen. We need to pursue Holgate for his services. I agree that we need to look at Holgate. Winston Clark looks at it otherwise, but for me, yeah, Holgate is somebody that we should look at. I didn't say that he doesn't strike me as a good player. I'm just saying that my style as a centre half, I just like what I see from Ming. That's all. Tapa is a madman. Baptiste refused recent call-ups to maintain English eligibility. But the thing is, though, Baptiste has he's already represented Grenada. I understand what you're saying, but he's not going to represent England at all. It's not gonna happen. I know, born in Grenada, moved to England at age 3. He's 24, but yeah, at some point, he's gonna play for Grenada. For sure. Absolutely, for sure. Sheldon Baptiste playing for England. Nah. Nope, 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 nope. Can't wait for my side beat him in a JPL and just dismiss him and in madness. Wicked Man Chris, who is your JPL side? Because my JPL side is a team Well, my Premier League, my local team is Constant Spring FC, and I've always been a Constant Spring FC fan. So, Constant Spring FC, or what I call Golden Acres. I'm there with you, Simon. Makes me nuts that Mario and Firpo keep ducking the Dominican Republic because they think that they'll play for Spain. Not going to happen. The Caribbean Cup been aborted, Simon? Yes. The Caribbean Cup was dissolved in 2017 with the emergence of the CONCACAF Nations League. So as a result of the CONCACAF Nations League, the Caribbean Cup is no longer in existence. But when speaking to Randy Harris, the CFU president, quite recently, he was making the point that if they're able to secure 2 to 3 sponsors, then maybe, just maybe, the Caribbean Cup can return. But personally, I just don't think that we're going to see it back at this point in time. I don't see it. I honestly don't. Wicked One Chris says 1 Kingston, 14 Tivoli Gardens for life. Really? Tivoli Gardens? Interesting. Okay, cool. Too many players hold out for a call that will never come, and only at the bitter end do they finally pay for their ancestral nation. Well, I think times are changing. I think with the statement that Mikel Antonio made, others might follow suit as well. So who might be next in line? Well, others are coming. I can tell you, I think Ethan Laird would be a massive statement because Kyle Walker is retiring. I don't think we'll be an England player post the World Cup, right? You have Trent. There'll be no more Kieran Trippier, I think, post the World Cup. And then you're left with Trent Alexander-Arnold and Reece James after that. You'd say that there would be a chance for Ethan Laird, but guess what? If Ethan Laird plays for Jamaica, that would be just outstanding. We need the Caribbean Cup back. Only thing we win and them take it away from us. Yeah. Vincent, them a bleach pun the call up and it ain't gonna happen. They need to build with DR. They do need to build with DR, they really, really need to do that. Can James Justin play for Jamaica now, or is he captied? I'm trying to remember if it was a friendly match that James Justin played for Jamaica, but I think that it was a competitive game. I think it was a competitive game that he did play for England, I think it was a competitive game. That game in particular that he played was against Hungary. And the Hungary game was a Nations League game, so therefore he would be captained because it came up against a team in the Nations League. And so it was a competitive game. It wasn't a friendly match against Andorra or Liechtenstein or Luxembourg or Georgia or Romania, Greece, Malta, Macedonia, Serbia and Montenegro, Croatia, Serbia, Slovakia, Bosnia and Herzegovina. Not like that at all. Constant Spring FC may have a difficult time coming back with the passing of Daniel Lynn. I agree. I think Super League is where the team will be, unless there's an injection of funds within the club. Why you say it like that, Simon? Something wrong with Tivoli team? No, never said anything wrong. Especially players with Caribbean roots. Yeah, all right. Simon, do you think Blake is a better keeper than Amal Knight? Experience, agility, consistency. Yeah. Simon, are you still high on Dwayne Atkinson? What do you see next for him? Well, for some time there has been interest in Eastern Europe for him, so it's all about Cavalier ensuring that they can be able to sell him in January. That's what I think. If Slavia Prague, if Prague and Czech Republic are still interested in the man, then let him go. Let him experience European football. Let him see what it's like out there in that world. Let him see what a new world it's like out there. I mean, Dwayne Busy Atkinson has been to Sweden, but let him see what Europe is like on a consistent basis, and not just for 10 days or 12 days, if you understand what I mean. Is Marcus Edwards, who plays in Portugal, interested in playing for Jamaica? His focus is on his club at this point in time. Constant Spring in shambles, unfortunately. The man is something else. I wonder what goes through his mind. Whose mind? Good question, Wells. He's a very good baller. VM1 that goes on in Tapa's head. El Gran Hero. Keep smashing the like button, people. Smash the like button, people. Let's go. Smash the like button, people. Let's go. Smash the like button. Simon, any of our players in Malta like Martin Davis are looking to move to bigger leagues or they can cut it in international football? Of course, they would want to play in leagues outside of Malta, but just the right opportunity just hasn't presented itself at this point in time. Speaking of old men finally playing in their roots, a 36-year-old Cameron Jerome committed to Grenada. Boy, I tell you. I remember Michael Mancienne, who used to be at Chelsea. Michael Mancienne, who used to be at Chelsea, he said if he didn't play for England by the time he was 25, he'd represent Seychelles. And he decided to represent Seychelles in his late 30s, you know? So, but yeah, that's the situation with where he's concerned. But yeah, Cameron Jerome, 36 years old, the man from Huddersfield, and he agreed to represent Grenada. He's going to represent Grenada because he comes from Huddersfield. We in Huddersfield, we talk a little bit about this. He plays for Luton Town. Luton Town playing the championship, and with Luton Town playing the championship, they have Amari Bell, and Cameron Jerome, and Dan Potts, and James Shea. James Shea used to be a goalkeeper at Arsenal Football Club. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. He also Collie Woodrow. You also have Henry Lansbury, and Reece Burke. Two football players. Henry Lansbury used to play for Arsenal Football Club, but now he's at Luton Town Football Club. So Cameron Jerome is now at Luton Town. He's not scoring a lot of goals. He scores one goal every 12 games at Luton Town Football Club. That's what I can say about Cameron Jerome. But now he's going to represent Grenada. And I know he's a massive United fan, but what I can say about Cameron Jerome is that he's going to play for a great team. That much I can say for sure. So yeah, there we go, where that is concerned. Hughes and Hutchinson, Amari, Bala. I hear you, Simon, but keeping is more than agility in the goal. It's more about game management and ball distribution. Blake lacks that, but Amal has it. Blake causes too much pressure on the D. I think Blake is the overall better goalkeeper at this point in time. Slavia Prague go on busy. No mind him for go. That's a big team that's always in European competitions. And the pressure on the defense is caused by poor ball distributions. Simon, don't laugh too hard. Scott Sinclair pretty close to 36. I know. Scott Sinclair is pretty close to 36. Yeah. And James Vaughan is close to 40. I think Darnell Fisher will play for Grenada. Yeah, I think he will as well. And for these players, delusional bad, says Wicked Man Chris. Roger Blake's passing has improved significantly, man. Watch back the Argentina game. Big time. I feel Mariana Diaz and Junior Firpo will play for DR because they're heading to the Olympics and try to help them go 2025 World Cup. Possibly, just give them a few more months and we'll see the decision that they make after that. Honestly, Eastern Europe doesn't seem bad for a lot of these kids. Paris cut his teeth in Slovenia. I know he's one of the big boys in Ukraine. Well said. Stephen Colca just represented Sierra Leone, play a few matches, and then him turn the captain and now 7 games played, and him even play 20 games yet. Yeah, you're right. What's happening with Tyrant McGee? Well, the situation with Tyrant McGee is quite simple. He needs to get some playing time under his belt, and his contract ends at the end of the season, so he can leave as a free agent in the summer. Remember in Dexter's Comments to Kids, an English player asked Tapa about video analysis. He replied, "Yeah, man, no watch man TV." Yeah, you remember that? You guys remember that? That was so funny, honestly. That was funny. You guys have to admit, that was funny. Really, 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 really funny. You guys know that, right? It was really, really funny. That's for sure. So, who's next to go to Europe? That's the question. Is it Corey Burke? Is it Amal Knight? Is it Andre Blake? What's happening, Omari Hutchinson? BM, the man is anomaly, Batman. Tyrone McGee needs to go to MLS and stop waste time with these European coaches. McGee in MLS? Why would you say that? MLS? No. Tyrone McGee's skill set is for Europe. What's Tapa up to now? Club coaching? Yes, Tapa is the coach of Mount Pleasant Academy Football Club. Yep, that's where he is right now. Is Amari Hutchinson still committed? You saw him represent the country, didn't you? So why would he not be committed? Why would he not be committed? He represented the country. Remember to smash the likes button. Yeah. So Reggae Boyz fans, thank you so much for tuning in. I really, really appreciate the last hour and a half that you've had. Really, really appreciate it. It's been great chatting to every single one of you. I implore you guys, watch the interview with Liam Moore. Please, please, and thank you. Watch that interview and let me know exactly what you guys think about it. Okay, guys? Please, watch that interviews. He has Jamaican heritage. Corber can continue European try his hand in Albania. It wasn't Albania, it was actually not Albania, actually. Corber was over in Victoria Polsen. Victoria Polsen is not in Albania. Victoria Polsen, my friend, well, SKN and Polten is in Austria. So, yeah. Enough players have represented and them said I'm not committed, Simon. Enough of them. Represented Jamaica. Enough players have represented Jamaica and so they're not committed. I'm talking about going on to represent another country. And the only person that has represented Jamaica and gone on to represent another country is Jeff Cunningham. 3 years now and McGee can't make his club team. New coach, new owners, new philosophies, new style. Great job. Keep up the great work, Simon. Enough respect. Yeah, Austria. Just know that I only watch Jamaican football and Jamaicans play in their club, so I know what I'm talking about. Yep. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. Really, really appreciate it. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Reggae Boyz Commentary for more content. All right, guys? Lots more to come. Breaking news to come tomorrow. You want to stay tuned for that as well. And in relation to Sean Johnson, he played at youth level for Jamaica, not the senior level.
This video is brought to you by MPEC Printery, specializing in t-shirt printing, posters, and shipping from the USA. Call 876-775-6692 or 876-337-7374. Andy Gone Nuts. 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is also brought to you by BLC Jamaica Security Electronics, specializing in alarm system, video surveillance, camera system or CCTV, barrier system, gate automation, and access control. Call 876-320-7711. That's 876-320-7711 or 876-351-1105. That's 876-351-1105.